Kirsten Liebelt. Good to see you. Happy Monday morning, you guys. How are you? How are you doing? It's Monday. So good to see you. How was your weekend? I would love to know how your weekend was. We had warm weather in Minnesota, so that makes me very happy. We're back to a little chilly, but whatever. Summer's coming. I love being on the front end of summer. Makes you so happy. Anyway. All right, so I hope you had a really, really good weekend. Listen, if you're on the replay, let me know you're on the replay. And today we're actually going to talk about the connection between insulin resistance and lymphatic buildup, needing drainage. That's what we're going to talk about. And so you might want to hang out if you're like Puffy and you feel like you're a little not quite right. I mean, I think we all know what that's like. That's what we're going to do today. The replays of the 5-day challenge are up in the featured section in the group Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. If you missed the 5-day challenge, go in there in the featured section and watch them. I think you'll get great benefit from them. By the way, if you're not in the group, when you join Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, you will eventually get tagged in a PDF that I think will really help you. And it's something like pantry guide and a few recipes and just to get you started. And so that is free 99. Housekeeping for today before we jump into our content. We're here every day, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And we've done this, you guys, now for over a year, which is just amazing to me. Amazing. This has been a great journey with you guys. The deal that's going on right now that you need to know about is on the 15th, 16th, and 17th, orders of $200 or more will get 20% off. Do not tell me I didn't tell you. So many of you are already accustomed to, you have your set, supplementation routine going for you, etc. You might want to just make it on the 15th, 16th, or 17th at $200 or more. If not, no worries. Seriously, you guys, between today and all the way through tomorrow, every order of any size, you guys are going into a drawing for my Mother's Day gift box. So don't feel bad. You're not missing out on anything, okay? I'm going to make sure that everybody gets touched and loved a little bit. And so don't be worried about that at all. Okay, let's jump into content. It's so good to see you guys. Say hi. Come on in from the balcony on TikTok and come in and say hi. I really do appreciate everybody on TikTok. You guys play such an instrumental role in what we have accomplished over the last year. It has really been very cool because this is where I get to meet a lot of strangers, and I love that. So if you have never seen me before, you don't know who I am, put a 1 in the comments. And if you have, put a 2. That way I'll just kind of know, who's paying attention to content today, so then I can customize it a little bit more for you. All right, so today I wore my Love Your Liver t-shirt for a reason. My girlfriend made this for me. Isn't this nice? I just thought that was so sweet because I talk about the liver a lot. Honestly, you guys, I just did another phone consultation and a conversation again. This was just over the weekend. Liver. It's just liver. There are so many pieces to, needing so many reasons why you want your liver at optimal performance. And I feel like this is just not something that we've been taught very well. So today we're actually going to talk about it and get you guys up and running. All right, listen, if you feel like you're doing everything right, you feel like you're eating right, you feel you've cut out your sugar, you're exercising a little more, but you still have a puffy face, your rings are tighter, you feel bloated. Anybody? You can put in the comments which ones apply to you. Your legs are heavy and your stubborn belly won't budge. You just cannot get your belly to budge. And that's really frustrating. We talk about that a lot here. And you step on the scale and that is also equally not moving. So is it hormones, insulin resistance? Insulin is a hormone, or is it something that nobody's really talking about, which is your lymphatic system? And so there's a connection between insulin resistance and lymphatic backup. And you need to know that so that you can just simply deal with it. And it's not that mountainous. It's just something you need to know. Then again, I'm always so convinced that if you understand why things are happening, you'll stop being so mean to yourself. Doesn't that feel good? Like somebody telling you, stop being unkind to yourself. You just need a few basic pieces to your puzzle of understanding of how things work. And then you're able to shift it. Like, don't be mean to yourself. It's a core value of mine. You have to stop shaming yourself and being mean. Okay, there we go. There's my little rant for this morning. Good morning, Magda. Good to see you. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, so insulin resistance causes inflammation and water retention. So I grew up with a type 2 dad who was insulin dependent. He died at 63. So my whole Italian family, lots of obesity, lots of type 2 diabetes. And he always had water retention, like always, right? In his ankles and in his legs. And I mean, because the body is slowing down its ability to perform. That's what's happening. So of course, this was 28 years ago. He didn't know. Nobody's talking about his lymph system. We didn't have live video, did we, to talk about how we should be taking care of our lymphatic system? That wasn't happening. So he did a lot of, Epsom salts, foot soak baths. I do not know what's beeping, so I apologize. I don't know what's beeping on my computer. I've just got stuff going. And it can be really frustrating. So now we know more, we do better, right? We know better, we do better. So symptoms. Okay, hold on. Let me go back. So insulin resistance causes inflammation and water retention. But if your lymphatic system isn't draining properly, your body can't clear the inflammation, toxins, or excess fluid. So that's why getting your lymph system up and running, and I'll give you some really practical ways to do that today, is some of the best things that you can do for sure. But it's like pouring more and more water into a backed up sink, and eventually it overflows. That is such a great analogy. It's like pouring water into a backed up sink and eventually it overflows. All right. So symptoms, which ones do you have? Which ones do you have or you deal with? Puffy face, ankles, and hands, especially in the mornings. Anybody? Bra or sock marks that stay. I always pay attention to that because of my dad. So like if we travel and I have like an indentation, I'm like, like I do not receive that. So I know that something's, like stagnant in my body. So bra or sock marks that stay, bloating that worsens throughout the day. I just did another consult last week and she said, yeah, my friend was like, oh my gosh, like I can watch you bloat from the minute you wake up in the day. Okay, right? Very frustrating. Itchy skin or rashes. I used to have eczema all over my arms. And again, remember, there's this connection between insulin resistance and your lymphatic system being poor. It's a connection, you guys. It's all connected. It's all connected. I just want everybody to hear that. So itchy skin or rashes, feeling heavy, sluggish, or tired even after you rest. You're just not catching up. Cellulite that seems to be getting worse. I mean, honestly, we've been sold every, cream potion pill and whatever, to deal with our cellulite. Well, how about dealing with our lymphatic system? I'm just saying. And then weight loss resistance. Even when insulin is improving, you're still having a hard time losing weight. And I know that some of you feel that way. Hey, Cheryl. Hi, Patty. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you. I mean, and that's frustrating because you're like, well, how come she's losing all this weight? How come she started on the trio and she's like dropping pounds and I'm not? How come that's happening? Well, there are so many factors to any person's like puzzle. Some people are at the very beginning of their insulin resistance. So when they start, because I talk about the trio all the time, you guys, these are the 3 supplements that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. This is where I started. So we talk about this a lot. And this is where a lot of people start. They'll start this and their sugars will drop and they'll lose lbs like all over the place. Okay. And then some people do it and they get better. Like for instance, they go in and they get better labs, but the scale's not moving the way they want the scale to move. So maybe they've even gotten off of a high blood pressure, med, but the LBs, like, come on. Well, sometimes it's just because your lymphatic system is just in a different place than somebody else's. Okay. So just so that you understand that. Okay. So when you support your lymph and you address insulin resistance together, here's what happens. So this is addressing insulin resistance, and then I'll give you some other things with lymph. But this is where we start usually in our conversation, right? But you will, when you do both, right? Reduce your puffiness and your bloating. Everybody wants that. The bloating is the biggest conversation I think I have with you guys. It's all about bloating and being frustrated. Clearer skin and fewer breakouts. More energy and clearer thinking. Think about that. The mental fog that we have and the fatigue that we feel keeps us from even like wanting to scale our life in any way, shape, or form. Like everything becomes kind of a no. You want to go out? No. You want to go shopping? No. Do you want to go for a walk? No. Because you're just kind of tired, right? I understand what that feels like. Inches lost, even though the scale is slow. Better sleep and easier detox. These are big ones because especially like when you can lose inches, even if your scale is not showing it yet, don't worry about the scale. We talked about that. I think it was last week or the week before. Like the scale is measuring muscle, water, impacted waste. I mean, it's measuring all sorts of things, but losing inches, oh man, now we're here for that. Better sleep and easier detox, meaning less night sweating, etc. Think about that. What if your night sweats? Yes, there's a hormonal component, right? Even insulin is a hormone. But what if your body's just trying so desperately to detox? Less cellulite and inflammation, more regular bowel movements. Like hallelujah. That's a big one. And better hormonal balance overall. Those are the things. So Megda says intermittent puffy hands, itchy skin at times, not constant. Interesting. Very interesting, Megda. And you're on such a good journey. So that surprises me a little bit because you're making such great strides, like huge. You're like winner, chicken dinner. That's interesting though, right? But you know what that tells me? That tells me that we underestimate. I was talking to my husband about that a lot this weekend. And this is in regards to like other areas of our life, like business and stuff. The saying is that we overestimate what we can accomplish in a year, but then we significantly underestimate what can happen in 5 years, 10 years. And so we're always thinking, this isn't going fast enough. Speed this up. What's going on? Why isn't this faster? But then we like self-sabotage, right? Because then we're like, well, I was expecting it faster and it didn't work out fast enough for me. So I'm just going to quit. And it gives us a reason to quit and lay down, right? We do this all the time. Listen, I'm in the boat with you, right? Like I can talk about it because I understand it. But then we significantly underestimate where we can be in 5 years when we start our journey. So my journey now, I started at 50. Now I'm 60. Had you told me it was going to take me, took me 3 to 4 years just to trade out my foods because I was a real slow turtle. And I didn't have live video. I wasn't doing anything with anybody. I was just doing it all with I always say me and Jesus. So it took me 3 to 4 years just to trade out my foods. And then by the time I lost my sizes completely and whatever, I mean, it took me a few years, right? So it's like, but I look at that 5-year mark and that's really what we are looking at. It's that 5-year mark. And it's like, now I'm not saying that it's going to take everybody 5 years because that's not true. Listen, Terry lost 40 plus pounds in 8 months last year. And she can tuck in her shirt. So it didn't take her that long. I just was walking my own internal food connection journey. And I wasn't thinking about insulin resistance like this at all. I wasn't understanding. I was studying because I didn't understand any of this. So that's why I like to give information because I know I can help women compress time. Anyway, so what was I saying about that? Oh, so we underestimate like where we can be. Even if I say to you, like, what about in a year? It's April of 2026 and look back and see what you've accomplished. Because even if you are still dealing with maybe some puffiness or whatever, maybe, well, I'll give you some tips here and you can maybe add some things in. But it's like, give yourself permission to journey. Like, you've got to take care of you, right? Nobody else is going to do it for you. So that's how that goes. So the types of things that you can do for lymphatic support. Here we go. Number one, dry brushing. Okay. You can do light movement or dry brushing. So if has anybody seen those, like those vibration plates on any of the social platforms, the vibration plates where you stand on them? I just went to a home and garden show a couple weeks ago and they were selling them. They were super expensive though. They were a little crazy, but that's giving movement to your body, or getting up and walking or doing whatever. You have to get your lymphatic system moving, right? So light bouncing, like a rebounder. Anybody using a rebounder, or you used to, like years ago? Rebounding, walking, or dry brushing helps manually move lymph. Daily movement is key. Even 5 minutes makes a difference. Now, dry brushing, if I'm not mistaken, you have to maybe look it up on YouTube. Maybe we should do this together, where you're, if I'm not mistaken, you're brushing. I know you're brushing when you're dry, you're not wet. I get that. And it's a special kind of brush, but you're brushing upwards, I think. Like, if I'm not mistaken, there's like a thought process to how you want to be moving lymphatic fluids throughout your body. Number two, you've got to support your gut and your liver. You have to support your gut and your liver. I'm like Superwoman. Here's my uniform. Ta-da. So your gut and your liver. I think that we very severely underestimate our gut and what our gut is doing to help us with our insulin resistance, what our gut is doing to help us with our nutrient absorption and lack thereof. Like, we have a lot of leaky gut. There's so many of you, you've had your gallbladders removed. That was a part of the phone consult last weekend. And when you have your gallbladder removed, I mean, if you have overloaded your liver, you're just not feeling well. You're just really tired. You feel taxed. You feel, like you just, right? That's that kind of like sluggish feeling. And I'm telling you right now, like your best friend, if your insulin is high, you're not losing fat anytime soon. You might lose muscle. You might lose water. You might lose impacted waste, but you're not losing fat, because you can't burn fat if your insulin is high. But equally so, if your liver is tired and toxic, you're not burning fat anytime soon, because your liver is your fat metabolizing organ. So those two things together, that's what we're talking about today, dealing with both of those things, okay? So, of course, I always talk about the gut reset protocol. I talk about the trio. Those two together cover everything we're talking about, and I'll bring those up at the end. Hydration, drink electrolytes. Just make sure that you get electrolytes that aren't filled with a lot of dyes, and that you have electrolytes that are like sugar-free. So I've mentioned these in the past. There's one called Salty, SALTT, Salt Tea, and that is a sugar-free one. And there's another one called LMNT, like if you say it fast, Element, LMNT, and that one is sugar-free also. So just look for those things. Like, I'm just saying, like Gatorade, like that's not what we're probably talking about, people. I know that's what we think because of marketing, but that's not what we're talking about. So get something that's sugar-free and like dye-free, no artificial stuff. Like, that goes against what we're trying to accomplish. If you're trying to like detox your liver, maybe don't do that with something that has food dyes in it. I'm just saying. Okay, hold on just a second. I want to see what I'm missing. Joy, good morning. Good to see you. Good morning, Linda. Everybody's here. You guys are awesome. Everybody's here. And then you can also do lymphatic massage. You can actually go and have a lymphatic massage. I just heard from somebody who was saying that they went for a 90-minute deep tissue massage. Those types of things can be very, very helpful. And massage is no longer, I think we all know this now. I don't think I'm saying anything new to anybody, but massage is no longer like, we're going for a spa massage because it's a treat and we have money for massages. No, now it happens to be with our health. Like, doing lymphatic drainage massages and things like that, or using gua sha on your face, you can get rid of a lot of that puffiness. But I always know that I'm doing pretty well because I wake up and I don't have a lot of puffiness in my eyes. But when I do, immediately I'm like, what did I eat? What did I, like, have I been drinking too much coffee? Because it can be so dehydrating, things like that. Like those are the signs that are on your body that can help you, right? Hold on just a second. I'm reading and I'm trying to remember. Yep. Yeah. So my issue was, I had written a few notes there. My issue is that I always knew that I didn't connect the two with the lymphatic issue. But when we traveled, I would always have puffy ankles when I got there, and it was the marks of the socks. And I was putting my feet up against the wall during, in the hotel, and I hated that feeling. But I will tell you that even just recently, I have a customer who she does all of it, but she's definitely doing the trio, which I talk about, the 3 supplements with the 3 ingredients to help with insulin sensitivity. And she's doing the gut reset protocol, which is the primer and the and the probiotic, right? So she's doing them. And she said, she goes, I used to have to leave the house and take an extra pair of shoes with me. And now I don't have to do that anymore. Now because I don't have to switch out halfway through as my feet are swelling throughout the day, right? Now she's actually, this is just as an FYI, it's actually not in the conversation for today, although I guess it could be, but it's not, because the lymphatic thought process for today is going to be the trio and then the primer and the probiotic. Okay. So you can always just like message me in my inbox, like lymphatic, and I will send you a cart with all of these in it. Okay. Remember, this is where all of the testimonies come from, with sugars and insulin and weight coming down. And these are what's happening when people are needing to get rid of constipation, indigestion. I have somebody with short gut syndrome that was literally going to the bathroom, if you know what I mean, 15 times a day for years before she started taking the gut primer. So I'm telling you, like, if you have digestive issues, if you have leaky gut, if you have liver, this is liver, this is like, there's liver in this, it's all connected. So anyway, you can always put lymphatic in the comments and I will help you with that, or you can message me. But not having swollen feet because you've actually gotten your impacted waste to start moving through your system feels like a freaking $1,000,000. Come on. I think we've all had bouts of like constipation in our world where sometimes it's just downright scary. It's just scary. Like, and you don't even necessarily know what you did to mess up your gut that bad in that moment. But all you know is that you want relief. And I'll tell you, and that can come from like after surgeries, even with narcotics, etc. And you're just miserable. Well, when you can now stay regular all the time, like the skies open up, the sun shines down, the birds are singing, you're like, you're whistling. Like you feel so good because you just are so tired of feeling just sluggish and like lagging and whatever, right? So I'm telling you, you can actually change all of that. So if you've been focused, if you need to focus on both your insulin resistance and your lymph at the same time, that's the connection that we have, because insulin resistance is creating that inflammation and it's also creating the leaky gut. And then let's add on there that maybe, I just heard my cat cry. Gracie. Usually she doesn't cry. She might be stuck in my laundry room. But then add on to that, what if you had your gallbladder removed? What if you've had multiple surgeries with multiple anesthesia rounds, or you are on a lot of scripts that you're working to get off? Those types of things. Your liver is having to try to deal with all of that. And it's like your workhorse organ. It's like, it's so strong. And it's like trying to do everything for you. And sometimes you just have got to support your liver on a completely different level. And that is supporting your lymphatic system on a very different level. So remember, you can do lymphatic massage, you can do dry brushing, you can get a rebounder, you can go for a 5-minute walk, you can get a vibration plate. There are all sorts of things that you can be doing. You could be doing gua sha on your face and on your neck and getting things off, up, getting the toxins, up into the side of your face and then drain it down. I mean, there are things that you can do. You can do under your arms. You can do lymphatic massage underneath your arms. There are many different things that you can do if you're looking to accelerate it, or you're looking to boost yourself into, I always say, from insulin resistance to insulin sensitive. If you want to launch yourself towards, and you want that help, that's where I can come in and help you on a completely different level. And that has to do, of course, with the gut reset protocol, which is the primer and the probiotic, and then the trio. That's the best. I can tell you story after story after story, but I would love to know if anybody, okay, so Linda does have something here. Very good. Very good, Linda. Perfect timing, girlfriend. Coffee is supposed to be the best thing for your liver, and unsweetened cranberry juice. So I'm just going to tell you something that I don't really know for sure. Okay. I'm just going to chat for a second. Unsweetened cranberry juice may be, I mean, I know that's really good for UTIs for sure, but coffee, oh, the red light on the face. Hold on, Lisa. But the coffee is super dehydrating. And to be really honest, I feel like coffee as enemas have been proved to be really good for the liver. I've never done one, but I know people who have. It's kind of something that people are doing a lot of right now. I'm seeing it on my socials, and doing coffee enemas. That can be very good for the liver, is what I've heard. Of course, you want that to be organic coffee. You want it to be clean and all of that stuff. I actually don't know a ton about that, but I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know if drinking it, just drinking it is good for your liver. Maybe it is, and I don't know about it. So there you go. That's just my 2 cents. Red light on the face. No, gua sha is it's a tool. I have one in my bathroom. Let me go get it. Hold on. I'm going to just show the tool to you. Hold on. I still have my microphone on so Instagram can hear me. I said I still have my microphone on so Instagram could still hear me the whole time. This is a gua sha, GUA space SHA, gua sha tool. And this is what you would use to literally so for instance, in my skincare line has a lot of botanicals in it, that same botanicals that are put into the supplements that I use. Okay. So it's the same organic farming that goes into my skincare. And one of the pieces of the skincare is a CBD oil for the face. It's a facial oil. It's lavender. It's amazing, whatever. But you would take a little bit, just a couple of drops, and put it over your face. And then you take the gua sha tool and you literally, without a lot of pressure, you're able to bring that up over your face like this. And then you're moving toxins, and then you're bringing them down and you're bringing them out. Okay. You're doing things like that, or you're using this to sculpt your skin, move the puffiness from under your eyes. If you have a lot of puffiness under your eyes, you're able to use medium pressure and move it out and down like this. You're able to do your neck, etc. So you're moving toxins, you're moving all the puffiness. And think about that. That's, when you think about cellulite, think about the fact, if that's backed up lymph, that's just toxins. It's just toxins. And so there's a way that I even notice that the cleaner that I eat now, and the more things that I do that I'm layering for myself, my cellulite and everything just gets better and better and better because I'm cleaning out my system. So I hope, excuse me, I hope that makes sense. But dealing with your lymph system is, it's something that's super ongoing, but it should really become a part. I mean, I'm very seriously thinking about investing in one of those vibrational plates, because now we can take walks, and we do that. We like to walk, and that's great. But it just makes me think about how simple, because we have very sedentary lives, and this has really led to a lot of, connections. And so anything that we can do to just level up our function. I always think about function like this. Function is like living in Technicolor. When you're not functioning, you know how they always say, you think you want everything in life until you've lost your health. And then you only want one thing. there's only one thing then that you have, that you want. And that is, you want your health back. Because when you don't feel good and you can't move, you can't walk, you can't function, etc., the red light thing. What is the red light thing that you can use on the face? Well, let me tell you, Lisa. So I do have one of those also. It's red light therapy is very, very good for bringing down inflammation and stimulating collagen production. So red light therapy is phenomenal. People are using red light therapy. I could go to my chiropractors right now and lay down in a red light bed. Red light is so good for our bodies, and it's just very helpful for inflammation, etc. Using like the one that I use on my face, the little wand, beep, 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 whatever, that is helping with, fine line wrinkles. Like just, it's stimulating the production of collagen. It's and it's bringing down inflammation. I have not been consistent with that for a while now. I just get out of habit of doing certain things. Just like everybody else, I just get out of habit. The one thing that I don't get out of habit with, like hardly ever, like it's shocking if I'm out of habit, even when I'm traveling, it's my supplement routine. Like there's no way I'm going out of town and not taking my gut primer. It's not happening. It's not happening. I've mixed it up with a pen in my in water in my hotel room. I've used all sorts of, I've taken paper and rolled it up to make like a little stir stick. I've done everything because I want my body at the very base level, base level. I want everything in my body moving, especially if I'm sitting longer on an airplane, sitting more in a business conference, not doing as much walking, air travel, just, all of the different, what's my word? Like pressurized cabins and things like that, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Just, I want it all moving, just like keep on moving body, keep on functioning, like a swamp or like a stale land of water. Who wants that when you're trying to like keep your body healthy and your immune system up, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't want any stale swampiness in my body. So that's my big thing for that. So if anybody is looking to like push yourself a little bit more further into, help with your lymphatic system, on top of those tips, if you're wanting to add supplementation to your world, highly recommend using the trio, which has the, this is for your insulin resistance, and the gut primer. I think I showed it to you, and a probiotic. This would be an excellent lymphatic thought process. So you can always ask me for a lymphatic cart. I will get that to you. And then you can just look and see what it is. Like, knowledge and good information is never a disadvantage. I'm just telling you, like, you just have to be able to talk to somebody and to actually determine what it is that you actually want and need. It's why sometimes it's like, let's make sure, no, you actually don't need that. You actually don't need that one. Just forget about that one. Do this because you want it for what your situation is, not what everybody else. This isn't plug and play, right? I mean, that's the beauty of being able to like do a little bit of just back and forth with somebody and find out what's going on in their world. So I'm just saying. All right, tomorrow we'll be back at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you guys again. And if you're in the group Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, don't forget the replays of last week's 5-day challenge are up in the featured section. That's all. It's all free. Just go ahead and watch that and see if you can't like maybe get a few nuggets for yourself so that you can like take down the rest of April. We're almost halfway through. And if you are placing any size order between now and the end of tomorrow, the 14th, perfect. It doesn't matter what size it is. You're going to go into a drawing for my Mother's Day gift box. And if you are doing orders of $200 and more, I highly recommend wait. Hold off. Put a little notification in your phone because the 15th, 16th, and 17th, 20% off your entire order. And you are then in the running for the 3-month campaign that is ongoing. 150 or more, 3 months in a row. And on that third month, cha-ching, you earn $75 back. 3 months again, third month of 150 or more each month, cha-ching, $75 back. I mean, that is one really good way to like match up your permission of a routine for yourself with an actual strategy as to how you are going to walk that journey. Like nobody else is giving you that. Nobody's going to give you that. I'm just telling you. That's a really, really good, that's like a customer campaign. I've never seen anything like that before, ever. So, and it's ongoing. There's not an end in that site yet because it just started in March. So it's not a limited time. You could start right now in April and go April, May, June, cha-ching, July, August, September, cha-ching, right? That's what I'm saying. So there's a little bit of double dipping. So hold off if you're placing an order of $200 subtotal or more. Hold off. Just wait till Wednesday, okay? 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, and it will go live on the website. And when they did this in November, it just about crushed the website. It just about crushed it. It was so good, but it was phenomenal. It's why they're doing it again for you guys. So I love that so much. But all right, have a really good day. I'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Be super blessed and have like the best day that you can possibly have. Choose that this Monday is going to be the best Monday you've ever had, like so far in 2025. Like make it a really good one, okay? See you tomorrow, you guys. Love you so much. Bye.